It is pi o'clock, 3:14 a.m., Wednesday, December 29th, 2021. Um, Very tenuous topic. I don't know if there's a point, but I'm not just making a video for the sake of making a video, so we're clear. Um, Encountering some interesting phenomena and comments on various videos, some directed trolling. Um, I think the longer I'm able to continue doing things the way I do them here on this channel, the more actual people are going to periodically come into the understanding of what is being done to others. There's a lot of videos that I record and don't upload. I delete them. I will realize I've stated this before that I sometimes will either fail to get to the point, or the amount of time it's going to take to upload the video kind of sometimes by the time that first impression is uploaded, there's other things up that are changing the narrative, or you might say new information might come out as well. So because in between various topics, I'll also have non sequiturs or whatever from time to time that nobody gets if they don't watch the full video. And I'm not asking or urging anyone to watch a full video, because it's legit just me ranting most of the time. But as I live in isolation, this is how I kind of work to practice and maintain my verbal skills. I used to be known to be quite the talker, to an embarrassing degree, really. But I don't know. It's been very interesting. I had on two different, I believe they were completely unrelated videos, like not the same topic, not the same field of interest or anything. One was about a professional wrestler having issues with police in Mexico. Conversation takes place in Spanish. The thing I did not do was make a comment that goes, "Behold, I speak Spanish, and this is what I think he's saying." I didn't do that. What I did was look for other comments that had put something out that they heard him saying, and added something else. Get random, unrelated to the original commenter or to the original video creator accounts commenting about, "Bro, nobody cares. Who cares if you know Spanish, bro? I didn't tell me you speak Spanish without telling me you speak Spanish." Should be something like adding to something that somebody else said that was from having translated the conversation, and then make a comment about, kind of jealous this wrestler's got way better ability to speak clearly and nobody's saying than I do. It's pretty cool. I'm complimenting this wrestler, and people are like, "Who gives a fuck if you speak Spanish, bro?" Like, I mean, obviously the people that are leaving comments, that takes energy to type in an insult and send it. More energy than anybody else that's, not even just bothered to say "cool, bro" or whatever, because I'm not announcing, I'm not looking for specialness on that, right? But the nature of the comments, there was another one. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, it was within something to do with professional wrestling, I think, because there was I think it was a comment on oh yeah, we were talking about Taco John's and stuff, on comments on a Thunder Rosa taco vlog, whatever. And she did not know what Taco John's was. Her person on her video barely explained it. People in the comments then throw out the information. The cool thing about comments with information is not only does the person who made the video possibly see the comment, depending on the size of the channel and how they operate their channel, but other people coming in may get information from the comments to help them find whatever information they were after and that caused them to search or look for that led them to where they're at. It's all about information. And in between this, you get these should have been abortions of people that their only purpose is to try and drag someone down. It doesn't drag me down that somebody's jealous that I fucking learned another language 20 years ago. Kinda. It doesn't drag me down. It's just like, man, there are still people out there that act like that. It's amazing. So I had, something similar. It was like, some random whatever, and it's like, okay, but like, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I don't know, man. Did you watch the original video? That was the one comment on the one on Thunder Rosa that somebody had commented something about, whatever. What does it even matter? Oh, because the comment had said something about history of Taco John's information, and had ended up editing and changing it because they thought that it was Mexican-American person that started it. It turned out it was like white Midwesterner or something. And then somebody tried to take them to task for, editing for accuracy that just happened to just be like, okay, so founded by a white guy apparently. And it even says like edit, apparently it's a white guy. So I was like, okay, why does it matter either way? And then they start ripping into me and I'm like, you didn't even watch the entire video. Like, it's like, why are you talking about Taco John's? It's like, okay, it's a fucking taco vlog. The vlog itself is strictly for the purpose of trying tacos at different locations with various wrestlers and friends by a professional wrestler named Thunder Rosa. That's like she has her regular vlogs, then she has the taco vlogs. Today she did one with Mick Foley. It was part 1. There's another one coming. It's pretty cool, right? Information, entertainment. But these people, if you want to call them that, start going into the comment sections and being like, why are you talking about tacos? You're so dumb. And it's like, okay, but we're talking about a specific question where she says, I don't know nothing about this Taco John's. Guys, tell me about Taco John's. Boom. Content creator says, leave a comment talking about topic. You leave a comment talking about topic. You engage in discussion talking about topic. And these fucking brown shirt fucking trolls come out and try and discourage people from having any social contact whatsoever. By being like, who gives a fuck, bro? Why does it matter? You're fucking stupid. You're not even talking about anything sane. And it's like, I'm talking about tacos. In the comments in the section of the taco vlog, where the person eating the tacos said, tell me about the tacos. In your own words. Same thing with the other one, the dude speaking Spanish. The argument is about the amount of money that the cops are stealing from this dude, the corruption of Mexican police, and the guy's like, I've had it. And he's videotaping and he's showing the world. And then the person whose channel it is says, and who I've interacted with many times before. It's a lady, she seems pretty cool. Wrestling fan as well. I don't know her, don't know anything about her. I just, we've had some cool comment exchanges. Again, information. And if anybody knows what they're saying, leave a comment below. Also like to address the comment that was left on one of my videos to do with the, that wasn't what I expected to come home to. There's a person going by the name Intense Passion. You're going to have to gain some context on the last 4 months of my life as far as the cats go to understand why that incident happened. What I've not been showing, because I've not been in a position to do so at the time, because when I'm climbing into bed, I'm not trying to shoot a video, is that all of my babies come up and snuggle me now. The somehow belief that the denial of a sort in cats of a loss of a lifelong loved one had to happen too. That was part of it. As far as whether or not I need therapy, that was the thing that my ex-wife told me I needed. And the reason I never got therapy was that I basically don't trust doctors. I haven't for a long time, and even now, the last 2 to 3 years, I've got zero reason to trust anybody in a medical field to have an unbiased, non-agenda based reason for doing things. Yes, it would be great. It would be fabulous if I could pay somebody money to do what my phone is doing, which I'm already paying for, to say, and how does that make you feel? And then prescribe me medication that makes me feel empty inside. I've been there, man. As far as dealing with the things that my life is, right now everybody else is dealing with it too. That was the thing that came out when I was already spent a full year at the very bottom poverty level, below anything most people can imagine is livable. And only by a few clever circumstances on my part and a few lucky circumstances on the universe's part did I survive. And then everybody else started being broke too, because of the way this whole resetting, building back, grinding everything down to a nub thing is happening. Previously, the issues that I had that I was advised to go to therapy for, or that there's got to be some kind of help for, was suicidal ideation, except that this was not random self-destructive tendency. This was a literal, logical conclusion that said there is no point in continuing. Victory is impossible. Failure is inevitable. And the failure we're talking about is attempting to provide for a family. Part of what got me into the track of that particular conclusion at the time that my marriage ended was the pressure that I was under to not make a single mistake when it came to stepkids, as far as either my now ex-wife or my former parents-in-law, who were quite vocal and rude about things. Why I didn't go to therapy at that time was that the reason that I felt like there was no point and that things were not working out was that all the vehicles that we owned broke down simultaneously as the house flooded. And when I say flooded, I say this entire enclosure had an inch of water on the floor twice, caused by groundwater issues from the front end of the house, which I subsequently was able to remedy and repair. At the time, it was the point at which the real, I wouldn't even call it Trump derangement at this point. I would just say it is the logical errors caused by propaganda and COINTELPRO on average people, as it were, that I was friends with, caused them to gaslight me. All of them. I was not a big pro-Trump guy, mind you. I didn't vote in 2016. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter to them. So all my friends turned on me, which means they really weren't my friends. I don't want to say all. There was a handful of people that are not complete shit. And I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything particularly offensive or anything like that. It was simply, as they put it, you're on the wrong side of history, when I was like, but that bitch is more evil than him. Like, they get lied to, they get propagandized, they fall into the same stupid little routine every 2 to 4 years with every election and never seem to notice it's being done to them. Whereas I, since 2003, have been fully cognizant of the way things are being done to people. It's part of the reason a lot of folks don't like to listen to me, why, I'll get 25 views on a video and one person will comment. That's why. As far as going to therapy during that time period went, the other thing is that, I live in a town of about 40,000 people. I've been in all different sorts of circles, socially, culturally, in this town. And anywhere I was going to go that I would be able to get any sort of affordable mental health care was going to be somebody that either was going to be of inferior quality because of the county assistance paying for it, basically, or was going to have their own agenda or reasons for things. So if I'm like, yeah, it's like everybody lost their mind because this propaganda and whatever. Well, gee, if you just walk in talking about people being mind controlled and shit, most therapists are going to automatically be like, oh, that's a paranoid schizophrenic. That guy, nah, man, that ain't me. This, you ever met somebody with schizophrenia? They're like this. Yeah, so that's how it is. That's how they talk. This animatedness, that's bipolar. That's not schizophrenia. It's not even close to the same thing as schizophrenia. There's like a spectrum where schizophrenia is like a football field that way and bipolar's over here. But they're ultimately not the same. So I could go into a doctor and say I'm having emotional distress from the fact that people on a political basis using social media are discouraging me from independent thought, and my in-laws are assholes, and house flooded repeatedly over and over. All the vehicles broke down, lost the job. All these things all at the same time, right when things seemed like they were going really good. Now the reality is, the situation I'm in, I was discarded. I was discarded in the psychological sense. I've dealt with it. I do what I can to get over it. I obviously can't afford a therapist anyway. I don't take things out on my cats. The whole reason that I had to basically isolate myself from my dying mother in the last months of her life was because the way she had become toward me, my sister, and my wife, that we all had to distance ourselves as best as possible. Otherwise, in my case, it's one of those things where that kind of emotional trauma could have seeped through subconsciously into the way I dealt with stepkids. When I say dealt with, I mean for good or for bad. So for me, I had to take the lesser trauma, apparently, of having to distance myself, but attempt to not allow it to seep out. To, you're going to have anger issues from stuff for sure, but there are ways to keep yourself safely constrained, as it were, so that you're not lashing out at people. You have other outlets. You have, other types of therapy. Therapy doesn't just necessarily mean paying a person who went to college to give them a certification in an age where people with certifications are being wrong more often than they're being right. To do what? That I can't already figure out. If you watch my channel enough, you notice I'm fairly high IQ dude, fairly self-aware person. I strive for this. And so I can't be my own therapist, but I can seek out therapeutic means. And that's what I do. As far as the thing that happened that I was advised to seek therapy ASAP, number one, that's like a month-old video. Number two, like I said, it's as near as a week or two from that. Each of the cats started coming around. Yes, there was trauma in that incident. We're all dealing with it, but guess what? My cats can't go to therapy. My cats are the ones that are attacking each other at the time of that video. All of them. 5 of them. Constantly lashing out. And the freak out that I had was over the potential loss of another cat because, again, if you've been watching for context, in the past several months, 3-4 months of my life has been dealing with the loss of a cat. He got sick or something, not 100% sure what happened. He fought valiantly. He did not survive. I took him to the vet. It's not like I just kept him out here and let him suffer either. So I guess the moral of the story here is, assuming anybody's still watching to this point in the video, don't make assumptions about people. When you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. And what that means is that the bigger ass is the one making the assumption, but the person who gets assumed against is liable to, have an opinion too. That could cause them to show their ass as well, when otherwise it might not have needed to be done so. I could have reacted extremely negatively to the frankly rude manner in which someone just never met you before, but you need therapy, buddy. Welcome to the channel. You can keep subscribing and watching if you want, but just understand, I'm finding therapy. Life is therapy as best as it can be for me. The fortress of solitude out here, that's my therapy. My cats are my therapy, which is why it was important for my therapy not to be attempting to kill each other. Savvy?